In this video, I'm getting a half-priced 6.2 2013 Chevy Silverado. Headed out. So right now we are headed out with all the gear back there in tow, some cash, a check, the laptop, the pods, the everything, and even some warm tea because the throat's feeling a little fuzzy with the allergy season. Anyway, I look weird. I haven't been on camera with this or the lack of this lately. I shaved, fun fact. But we are going right now to grab the 2013 Silverado with the big 6.2. I can't wait. It's pretty sunny because we're leaving rather early. Not when it's still dark out, but just when it's early enough for the sun to hit your eyes. So we got the visor down and we have a 3.5 hour ride to go. So just hit the chase, as you saw, got a cashier's check for $7,800. I put a $200 deposit down on the truck over the phone with the credit card, and then of course pulled money out of my dad's checking account and got that check made. I have $500 of cash that, again, borrowed from the parents because that's how the game is played, of course. Anyway, I want to have some negotiating power when we're there to see if hopefully I could get it for a slightly lower price, but they know where I'm coming from. I already haggle on the price, so I doubt it gets any lower. But we are en route to the dealership specifically. We're 9 minutes away and hoping for the best. So that's what's up, and I will let you know how things proceed. Here we are, Summit Motor Cars. Can we see her? Oh, beautiful baby. Look at that heaper. Look at that heap. Parked right out front for me. Oh, baby. Look at you. Oh, baby. So we just threw her in drive. We are going on the first drive, and the guy said, oh, it has some tire chop. And these are the weirdest worn tires I've ever experienced. But we're gonna get going out of here shortly and see what it sounds like. Cannot wait to get it popping. Oh. That? Oh, brutal. It does have some tire noise. Overall, first impressions, it's a little stinky, a little quirky. It feels just worn down truck. The brakes are truck brakes that are worn. The body is beat up. It's just a beat truck. So we got a Summit shirt and got the truck for $83. There she is. So we just grabbed Panera, and now we have a 3 hour and 41 minute drive back home. So on the interstate we go. 3.5 hours left. We'll put this thing to the test. The biggest concern I have are the brakes and tires. I don't see them being particularly problematic, but they are far from good. I will say that. Going 80 on the interstate, if I have to brake hard or with all the abuse, it's suboptimal for sure. So with that in mind, we focus on the road. It's not really much to show you. And yeah. Peace out, Wooster. You've been good. Baby's getting her first fill up. Put $100 in. We'll see where it goes. See how much it takes. That's the game of the day with no gas cap. How much does she take? And I think we're gonna throw in some premium just to be safe with the 6.2 as well. And I guess while we're waiting, I'll give you a quick tour of her. She's not cleaned out at all, which is all right. There's my stuff in it. Some pretty toast rockers, as you'd expect. Lots of dirt. She'll definitely get a nice little disaster detail. There was some trash in that door panel over there when I opened it up the first time. I thought that was pretty funny. But he showed me the trade-in, wherever it is, and he was saying the clean trade is 18.5, average trade is 17.2, rough trade, even if it's rough, it's 15.6, and I got it for 8,300 bucks out the door. Unbelievable. But she does have some pretty wonky wear on these tires. I mean, look at that. That's odd. The rears are fine, which is good, but the fronts are just odd. I've never seen this sort of tread pattern or wear pattern on tires in my life. If you happen to guess 8701, you would be correct. So, quick update. We are probably an hour and a half from home. Stopped at Walmart to grab some waters to get out and stretch because it's been brutal. And I've gotten followed by a couple cops that see my lack of plate, even though the paperwork is literally right here and the temp tag is right there. There's no plate where the plate's supposed to go. So I've been getting followed, have to take the pods out and stuff. But I'm just gonna not rage at home, go 80. And luckily, the tire chop, the tire issue that I have going on, kind of dissipates at speed. So when I'm going 75 or 77, the speed limits out here are pretty high. So I'm not going too fast over the speed limit. We're good. We have burned through a quarter tank of gas, not even that much yet. And I've had no issues. So I'm loving this truck so far. I can't wait to get it fixed. I've decided I'm gonna do a few more things that I wasn't anticipating just to make it like super proper. These brakes have to be changed. I'm definitely gonna get some new tires as well. She needs love, but she's well deserving of love because this thing is solid. The drivetrain is solid, everything else needs attention and love. But with that in mind, we are gonna head back on the road, hit the highway, and get headed home right now. We have made it back officially to the home state, good old Indiana. Howdy, just wanted to hop on and say that I'm cooked. I'm very tired, and this is part of what comes with the game, so to speak. Like, it's not always ripping donuts or doing fun stuff. I'm like enjoying your vehicle, especially as you focus more on maybe profitability as opposed to just trying to drive for free, or efficiency over enjoyment. I think that's more appropriate. There's just stuff that you have to trudge through, and this drive, for example, being one of those things. We left at 7. It's now 5 exactly. Should be home in half an hour or so, maybe a little after 7. But it's been a full work day technically, and although I didn't do anything other than basically sit in a truck or a vehicle all day, it's still not, I don't want to call it work. It's still definitely work though, just like it needs to be done. There are certain things that are just like the most bland, the most vanilla, the most basic things that you must do in order to move things along and advance them. And there's a lot of that stuff doesn't get done, or it takes a lot of time because it's literally just trudging through the most bland, the most basic, the most monotonous movements of whatever it may be. Like, you know that you have to change brakes out, and it's like you know how to do it, or you can watch a YouTube video on how to do it, and you got to do it. Or maybe it's with marketing. You know how to get clients in the program. You've started a business. You know how to get marketing clients or detailing clients or whatever. And it's literally just the monotonous trudge of outreach. Hey, do you need your car marketed? hey, do you need your vehicle detailed? Executing on that thing, even if it's not a Lambo or a Ferrari or an exotic or whatever it may be, like cold outreach sucks. It's doing literally nothing other than sitting on the phone, calling people up. It's simple, it's easy, but it's the thing that will cause progress sometimes. So anyway, just wanted to hop on with that little insight. I'm getting a call from a friend, so I'm going to take that, hop off. Home, baby. She is home. No hiccups whatsoever. I'm glad she's back. Love her to be here. Love her to bits. So it is the next day at the homestead. I got this thing parked inside and I want to take you on a full tour of this big beast. So I just pulled it out of here and there's something weird with the brakes. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that little crunchy. A little crunchy. Let's go on the road and see how it sounds. Hear that? There it is. Ugh. Anyway, we will back up and I'll give you a tour. Let's hear that again. Oh. I hope you can hear that. Oh, there it is. So hopefully that justifies things. Really quick, I'm gonna take out my personal belongings. Like I have my old shirt, some water bottles, some more water, and a bang that I bought for the trek. But I'm only taking out my personal stuff, none of the other trash that was left when I bought this thing. And then I'll show you a tour of just how dirty it is, because it's an example of how not to sell a vehicle unless you want to get less than it's worth. So do that right now. Okay, so you ready to see her? Here is exactly what she looks like, full tour and walk around. We have some decent tires on the back, nice even tread wear, some rust on the frame, unfortunately, nothing bad. I mean, it's a 13, so it can't be like cooked all the way. We do have rust here on the bed, and then I think there's a spot, yeah, there's a spot down here as well. This will be really easy to sand down and respray. Moving on to the inside, we have rust starting down here on the rockers, unfortunately. The cab is luckily okay. The door appears to be okay. That door appears to be okay. We'll move around to the other side, or I guess up here. So I don't know what the wear deal is with this, how it would wear in this way. It's definitely not optimal, not even hardly safe to drive home on like this. But we're getting new tires. They are all the same. So they're the Mastercraft Corsair MXTs on these aftermarket wheels. Moving on to the front, we have these like weird holes on each of the headlights. I don't know if I'm gonna leave them or swap them over, but something's probably gonna happen to them. We have the scuffing, and unfortunately it got all the way into the paint over on this side, so I might end up having to do a new bumper piece, unfortunately, on this side. This could stay, these could stay, or they could be refreshed. Let me shut this off because it's she's making some noises. Okay, anyway, we have the front bumper now, and this is just gross. Pretty horrible, but this can all be sanded back down to bare metal and then either paint matched again to this color, or we can do a black with some bed liner. Okay, back at it. Anyway, we can sand this down to bare metal and then either paint match it like it would be up here, or we can match it like the bumper with some truck bed coating. Normally I would not have that as an option, other than the fact that it already has the aftermarket wheels and they're partially black. So with that in mind, I think the slightly modified look could be decent, could be okay. Again, we have this issue here, which kind of stinks. The hood overall is good. The roof is good. The windshield is fine. We have some scuffing down here. Unfortunately, once this gets cleaned, it could very easily be cleared though, and that would come back to life other than this little scuff here. This is probably the worst piece, this fender right here, but I already have a new one on the way, so that's gonna be fully replaced. Not gonna try to do anything. Despite up here and back here looking decent, I am gonna do fender flares. So really the only part to make look good would be right there. But for how nice this truck is, I really want to make it solid. And then we have the same weird tread wear over here as well, where it's really high and then it slopes down. I don't understand. It's like that on the other side, but this one has more tread and it's safer. But I mean, you heard the road noise, hopefully. If not, I can't pick it up on camera. So there is that. We definitely need new tires. The ones on the back are okay, so I don't know if I'm going to keep these and get 2 new Mastercraft Corsair MXTs with the same aspect ratio for the front, or if I'm just going to do a full set. I have some Toyo Open Countries that are 17s, like a brand new set that I could throw on and then just keep these as spares, sell them separately. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I had planned on doing all new tires all around, but with the back still being good, I'm in a little bit of a tough spot. We have this plastic piece broken right here. This scuff right here on the door kind of stinks, but it'll come out. Same with right here. And then this piece is missing for the gas cap, but I have a new one as well, which is pretty cool. This is only 20 bucks, and instead of going with a stock one or a crazy polished chrome one, I'm gonna go with a black one, and I think it'll accent nicely with the fact that the windows are kind of dark. It has the little rain deflectors up here. These aren't paint matched, so they're black. The trim is black. The wheels are black, so I think having this black with the silver rivets, or silver hardware, I should say, is going to look really good. And then, like I said, the tire is okay. Back here is good. The bed overall is pretty good, other than that scuff, and then other than right here, but I'll be able to buff this out, that's for sure. And then we have a little bit of rust starting to form. That's savable and salvageable, so I'm excited about that. Back here we have this clip that's broken, I believe. And then the rear parking sensors, there are some lights on the dash for that. Unfortunately, we got the spare down there, it looks like. The tailgate is in good shape, completely dent and scratch free, it appears, other than this just now starting to rust. So this is still very savable, no question about that. A lot of this would actually just buff out. Now, of course, there is rust underneath, but a lot of the discoloration would just come off with rubbing compound. And then in the bed, we had even more trash that some of was flying out on the highway, actually. But we have a busted strut right here, so that needs to be replaced. I don't know where it goes or how it mounts, but that's going to have to be replaced. And then there's all this junk that they didn't clean, even little alcohol bottles. And there was a can of alcohol in the back, and I just thought it was funny that the dealership literally did not do a single thing to this truck. So there's a tour of the outside. Now let's go inside. And we can see we have some scuffing down there. Not scuffing, what am I saying? Some rust starting down there on the rockers. So that side's going to be replaced as well. We have a tiny tear, or beginning of a tear in the leather, but otherwise it's in really, really good shape, which is great. The interior otherwise is good. I think this is just a horrible design flaw. I hate this. But that's not to this truck specifically. It's just this generation of extended cabs, I guess. But you can see how filthy this thing is. we have some nice weather techs. I'm assuming floor mats that are custom fitted. They've never really been pulled up. And we have them in the back as well. So really nice carpet underneath. So that's exciting. We'll definitely get a big time disaster detail in there. We have some scuffing on the plastics. This is starting to break off and wear a little bit. We have heated and cooled seats right here, which is great. We even have some trash that was left. V8 Energy, some fries, a napkin, gum wrapper. This, how do these go up? Do they? There's not too much underneath there. And then moving on to the other side, moving on over here, we have the paperwork that came with the truck, which is great. Some more trash. This thing I literally just noticed was like popped up, which is odd. And then some trash over here, an old sock, which is kind of disgusting, and a napkin. An oil filter wrench, it appears. Oh, speaking of, I think it was really well maintained, but it is due for an oil change. This is in like 300 or 500 miles. So when I do the big service, I'm gonna get a fresh oil change, even if it's a little bit premature. And this is actually my first time opening this. Actually, I wonder if there are receipts for this. And what's even in here? This is, oh baby! There she is. There she is. So we got the paint code in there. We have the, let's see, GameStop to the moon, baby! We have the GameStop stock purchase. It appears PS4, MLB The Show 2018, NBA, weird. Interesting. Some GameStop receipts. Something else. It looks like a receipt for the pawn shop. Hey. Speaking of pawn, we have one of these party balloons, and heck, maybe even the sock was for when they didn't have a companion for the party balloon. So they just ripped the sock, which I shouldn't be touching with my bare hand if that's the case. But anyway, what else do we have? I don't want to give the seller or any personal information by showing this. So I'm going to go through this personally and see if there are any maintenance records or anything in here. And then in here, it looks like 13 Chevy Silverado. Oh, this is their info. So it appears that we have some new shocks, which is pretty cool. The overhead console, is it this thing? Looks to be replaced, but then replace rear shocks right here. So that's good to know. I'll keep that for my personal records and history. And then maybe it's their report. It's a one owner, maybe when the previous owner bought it. So here we have a sale contract with the finances. I'm going to keep the buyer's information blurred, but we can see we have a 2013 with 46,000 actual miles, so I'm assuming that's when they got it. The 5% interest rate with amount financed being $24,800. Finance charge that, total amount of payments, total sale price, $5,000 down. So they bought it for $33,800 in 2016, which doesn't seem like it's bad. $400 a month. Blah 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 blah. I don't want to give out any more of their personal info. So it looks like they paid. The previous people paid $33,800 when they bought it in 2016. I'm gonna keep the rest of this hidden, but this is interesting to know. So unfortunately, was not able to find too much more fun, interesting, exciting information or prizes in there, but I did see the selling price, which is pretty interesting to know. I think that concludes the tour of the interior and of the truck in general. It's definitely in need of a very, very, very thorough detail at this point, because it didn't get one. So a car wash is, I think, probably the next stop. I'll spray down the floor mats and then get the carpet cleaner in there, get everything cleaned out, get it nice and freshened up, and get all this trash out. So that concludes the tour. I got most of the big trash taken out. Basically, the only thing that remains is my Carfax folder with all of my documentation, registration. Got the temp tag in the back. And then one last little walk around of the truck before anything happens, before any detailing goes underway. Put the floor mats back there to remember to spray off at the car wash. And I think I'll get the rest with the shop vac. Couple darts, couple dead bodies, couple coins as well. So there she is. I think that'll wrap up this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you thought that I got screwed by this dealership that sold me a junk truck, don't say anything, because I definitely didn't. It was sold as is, severely under market value by an awesome, incredible dealership. So huge thumbs up for them. Love them. Love the guy that I interacted with. Sales dude was great. Thank you so much for taking my lower offer, holding it for me, ensuring that I could come get it. I can't wait to restore this thing. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date and follow along with the progress of this truck, because I can assure you that this will have a massive transformation. By the time that I'm done with it, it's gonna look gnarly. It's gonna get some fender flares, some new wheels, some new tires, I should say, some spacers, and just cleaned up in general. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe, drop a comment down below if you are baffled by how good of a deal I got on this running, driving, four-wheel drive, clean title, 2013 LTZ Silverado with the big 6.2. Oh, hey, we cannot end this video yet. No. Whew. Almost forgot to show you the mechanical components of her. Forgot to show you the insides, and that will be the final thing. We got the engine bay. We have a K&N aftermarket exhaust right here. The engine up here. And yeah, now I think that's it. Got to get some 5W30 for her, get her oil changed, and I don't know if you can visually see it, but these brake pads are not the greatest. So we're gonna complete the parts buy, and that wraps up the video. One final plug, check out the link down below, automotivemoney.com, the arbitrage program, specifically if you're interested in learning how to find deals like this, how to negotiate like a pro, how I was able to get this truck for less than half of what it's worth. So if you're interested in learning all the techniques, all the strategies, everything that you need to know on how to get good deals on vehicles so that you can drive for free or even profitably, hit that link, and I will see you on the next one.